Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Boerne Brew here on Boerne Radio, 103.9 FM and 1500 AM. And you can also listen to the Boerne Brewer on the Boerne Star and Boerne Radio websites. I'm the host of today's show. My name's Kerry Barboza, and I'm the sports editor of the Boerne Star. So in the last show that I recorded, we had Boerne champion volleyball coach Kelly McDaniel and 4 of her seniors to talk about the 2025 season. And so for this edition of the Boerne Brew, we invited Boerne High head coach Stacy Lawrence to the show, and Coach Lawrence brought 2 of her seniors. Coach Lawrence, thank you for coming out on the show.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Tell us who you brought with you.
So I brought 2 of my seniors here with me today. So we have libero Haley Wheeler and then right side McKinley Schmidt.
And then I know you have a few other seniors. Let's go ahead and give the other seniors a shout out. Some we're going to try and make it couldn't, but let's talk about your other seniors as well.
Yeah, my other 3 seniors, who are all of these 5 are my senior leaders for this year. And so we have Kinsey Jones, who's an outside DS for us. We have Holly Reeder, who's an outside hitter. And then Paige Stiegel, who is a middle for us.
So second year with the Greyhounds, what's been the biggest difference from last year to this year?
For me as a coach, I think just knowing the girls, right? You just have a better understanding of how they respond to feedback and the way that you interact. I think that we as players and coaches have a better understanding of expectations as well. And our culture shift from last year to this year, I think, has been really huge for us in competing in a lot of these matches. I know our record might not be what we would like to this year, but we're fighting a lot more. We're battling. We're taking at least 1, if not 2 sets from a lot of these powerhouse teams. And so I'm very proud of the culture shift that we've been able to make, and that happened from day 1 of our off season with these seniors leading that group.
So it sounds like things have gone a lot smoother this year.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, and I know you coached in Massachusetts before you came here. You won 3 state championships. You moved to Texas last year, and that was your first year. Looking back, was that the right decision? Any regrets about the move?
No regrets about the move at all. You know, Boerne in Texas has been a great community, and Boerne High School specifically has been very open to this kid coming in from Massachusetts who wasn't in Texas before, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities and the mentors that I not only have at Boerne High School, but in Boerne ISD as well.
Well, we also have Haley Wheeler and McKinley Schmidt joining us here. Start with you, Haley. You had a milestone this year. What was the milestone?
My milestone was 1,000 digs.
And I remember I was at that match, and I remember the coach started jumping up and down, and then people in the stands started yelling. So they obviously were counting. How many did you need going into that match?
I think I needed 7-ish, 7 or 8.
So you were at 993, something like that. And so was it hard to focus on the match when that was going on? Because the play still continued. After you got the dig, they were still playing. So was that hard to continue playing, knowing what was going on in the stands?
Not at first, because going into the game, I wasn't sure of how many digs that I needed to get to my 1,000. And then I heard coach jumping up and screaming, and then I heard like our student section and all the parents getting excited. So it was just more exciting for the play. Like, I think it really enhanced like the intensity of the play. And so it was just really fun to finish out that rally and then celebrate with my team.
Yeah, and then y'all took a group photo. They gave you a volleyball. What did y'all do that night? Did you do anything? Did you go to eat with your family or anything like that to celebrate?
I did. I went out for dinner with my family.
And how many years on varsity for you?
This is my 3rd year on varsity.
Okay. And McKinley, you're senior as well. How many years on varsity?
1.
First year?
First year.
Okay, so you stuck it out for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Why did you stay with it? Because, you know, only 5 seniors. There's probably about, 15, 20 coming as freshmen, and they kind of drop off over the years. What was it that made you want to stay with it?
I think it was the environment we were in. I think everybody throughout the 4 years have grown stronger physically as well, and especially mentally. I just think that going through all the challenges and the excitement that I have faced, I just didn't want to leave, and I'm glad I stuck it out.
Well, Haley, so Coach Lawrence is your second head coach. You had Coach Pettibon. What's been the best part about playing for Coach Lawrence?
Coach Lawrence, she's really good at understanding us and being able to connect with us. I feel like with Coach Pettibon, I only had her while I was a sophomore, so right. I was still very new to it, and I was new to Coach Pettibon. And so I didn't have much of a connection with her. I'm sure a few of our other players that were with her could say right. differently, but with Coach Lawrence, I feel a lot more comfortable. Like, I'm actually able to connect with her and have a relationship with her, not exactly just as a head coach, but a mentor.
Well, McKinley, last year you were on JV, so this year you got to play the Chargers at the varsity level. Mm-hmm. You guys beat them. That was an upset because they were 4-0. You guys were 1-5, 1-4, mm-hmm. something like that, and you guys beat them. So what was that like to play them? Because when you've played them this year and last year on the varsity level, the gyms have been packed. And so what was that like with the crowd there?
I think just like the environment, like most of Boerne was there, like faculty, friends, family. I just think that seeing people there who have supported you all these years, just like watching you play a big rival game or just like a big game in general, definitely brings tons of energy to the coaches and the team and just everybody surrounding you.
Well, Coach, like I said, that was their first loss in district against the Chargers. Looking back on that, what was the key to that victory?
You know, I think for us, obviously, playing champion, there's always this emotional piece to it, right? And I think for us, we were not only emotionally invested, but we also had our heads in the right space. And we made mistakes, just like anybody makes mistakes in a volleyball match or any sporting event, but we were able to move on. And the biggest thing was that we not only did it as an individual, but we did it as all 6 on the court, and even every single person on the bench was moving on, invested in the right play. I know it's a Ted Lasso quote, but we always talk about goldfish memory. Didn't know it was a Ted Lasso quote until a handful of years ago, but you know, we really embodied that, I feel like, in that match, and we just played as one.
They took the first game, and then you took the second game, and then at what point did you kind of start thinking, hey, we're right here. This is realistic. This is a good possibility for us?
I mean, I think going into it, we talked about how it was realistic from the start. You know, we have gotten so much better from the previous season. We're playing faster, we're playing stronger, and, you know, we only lost the first set by 2 points, so I feel like that reality was there for the entire time. The reality is also, too, that Champion is also a great team, and so we just truly had to take it 1 point at a time and not get too far ahead of ourselves, because that's where teams can get into trouble.
Yeah, that is Stacy Lawrence, head coach of the Boerne High volleyball team, joining us here on the Boerne Brew. So, Haley, let me ask you, so you were there last year, the very first meeting at Greyhound Gym. What was that like, the environment last year to play those guys? The crowd, it was basically sold out. What was that like?
The environment was really intense, and we had practice the day and two before, just like with loud music and everyone screaming at each other no matter what drill we did. So that really prepared us mentally. Just be prepared for anything, whatever they say. Just be able to tune it out and focus on your skills and be able to focus on fighting for your team. And like everyone was just coming together. We were able to calm each other down while also like keeping energy up, not getting too involved with what the student section might be saying.
So, McKinley, I know you probably know a lot of those girls at Champion. I know you want to beat them, but at the same time you're friends. But it seems like a friendly rivalry. Is that a fair statement?
So I think when we're on the court, we are still friends, but we know like we're playing to compete and we're playing to have fun. So we kind of just set that stuff aside till after the game.
Well, Coach Lawrence, Greyhounds host the Chargers, second round district meeting. What are you telling the girls about that? Because I'm sure they're going to have revenge on their minds.
Absolutely. I mean, just reminding them of the things that we did really well, right? It's really easy to think about the things that we can improve on, but just to remind us that, you know, we went in and we played Boerne Greyhound volleyball that entire match. And so just to remind them of that and continue to take it one ball at a time and enjoy the opportunity for a team to seek revenge is really cool, right? That pressure is a privilege for sure.
And it's, I think, during fall break, are you expecting a big crowd? Because I think last year's match was during fall break and it was still packed.
Yeah, definitely hoping for a packed gym. So if you are around on that Tuesday, be sure to come by the Greyhound Gym. It will definitely be a match to remember.
Yeah, and that's October 14th. So mark it on your calendars, October 14th. Just the fact you got the first win against them because they swept you guys last year, did that take some of the pressure off? Was that just kind of a mental relief to kind of, now we got that so we can just focus on volleyball?
Yeah, I feel like from at least like a coaching standpoint, it is a little bit of a mental relief, you know, in that the work that all these girls have been putting in the off season and what we're putting into the program is putting us in the right direction. You know, I think now we just have to continue to take it one game at a time, and moving forward, season to season, we just still take it one game at a time.
Well, I know in the spring you're assistant softball. Are you still doing that this year?
Yes, sir.
And your husband's an assistant softball at Champion.
Yeah, baseball now, but yes.
So last year he was softball. You got to coach against him at the JV level. So who won those two meetings?
Champion did win the JV game that we were at, but varsity didn't win the next game on the same day. So we're going to say it's 50-50.
Now, there was a bet in the Lawrence household when y'all two met head-to-head. So what was the bet?
The loser had to make dinner that night. So Dan got some very nice cooked steaks that night for dinner.
Oh, wow. And you didn't invite us?
No, we did not. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. The invitation must have got lost.
Well, that is Stacy Lawrence, head coach of the Boerne High Greyhound volleyball team. And we're visiting with McKinley Schmidt and Haley Wheeler, two seniors. So, Coach, let me ask you about senior leadership. It's always important. We talked a second ago that, 15, 20 girls come out at the beginning of the year, freshmen, and you have to cut some, unfortunately, because so many come out. But now you're down to 5, right? I mean, it happens, just attrition. People drop out for different reasons. But how important is senior leadership and someone who's been in the program, for 4 years?
Oh, it's pivotal for sure. They are the people that everybody else looks up to. As much as we can say something as a coach, they are the ones that get to model that, and they are the ones that establish what this program culture looks like. And so I'm very proud of all 5 of them for the work that they've put in and the changes that I've made, and they have bought into those changes. I think they're setting a great example for our kids and for our future. And
you still have 2 more years before you have your first class of having them all 4 years, right?
Yes.
So does that make a difference, do you think, in a program to have someone go through all 4 years under one coach?
I think it always makes a difference, but I think that this group has still done a good job of making the changes and adapting. When you know one coach, it's really easy just to continue to push that culture and to have those goals. But for a group like this senior and this junior class to make those changes and to make them pretty fluidly, I would say, is a testament to who they are as leaders and how much they love the sport and love their team.
So, Haley, let me ask you, as a senior, what do you feel your role is on the team? Are you a vocal leader? Do you do more by example? What do you feel your role is?
For me, I find myself as a vocal leader. I find myself, no matter if I'm on or off the court, if I'm in a drill or not, I just find myself always encouraging everyone that's on the court, and I try to just say what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to keep just the energy as high as I can.
McKinley, what do you feel your role is as a senior?
I feel like I lead by example. I am vocal, but I feel like I can set roles for people who aren't sure what's going on or where to go or what is going on a court or off the court.
So, Haley, do you play other sports?
I do not, only volleyball.
Just volleyball. How about you, McKinley?
I do not, just volleyball. I used to, but I don't play. I only played one sport in high school.
What did you used to play growing up?
I ran track.
Okay. And Haley, I'm sure growing up you played a lot of different sports. What did you play?
I played soccer, basketball. I did some gymnastics.
Everything.
Yeah.
What was it about volleyball that made you want to focus on that?
I just loved the energy that it took. I liked how not everything is always in your control. Volleyball is the game that it's always dependent on someone else, and it's always dependent on the hit or the serve from the other team, and just being able to attack the ball and actually go for it.
So are you close to any other milestones? You 1,000 digs. Are you close to any that you know of?
Not that I know of.
So over the course of the season, this is news to her. She has become the all-time ace leader and the all-time dig leader at Boerne High School.
Wow.
At least in the recent stats that we have. So,
all right.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right, how far back the stats go, because, back in early 2000s, people really didn't do stats, right?
Yeah, it definitely has grown as technology has grown in the game. And so the stats that we have are stats that I've been able to accumulate from Max Preps. Yeah. So if anybody out there has stats, let me know.
Because, I know there was some D1 girls back in the day, Kristen Shremick and Jacqueline Tuhey, that played at SEC and Big 12. But they probably didn't keep track of the stats the way they do now.
Yeah, and the rally scoring also definitely has changed the stats a lot as well.
Because you used to be the side out up to 15, and so that's definitely changed. Let me ask the players, Haley and McKinley, I know y'all, and Coach and I were talking about it a second ago, y'all do a team bonding type thing. Who runs that, and what's that like for you guys?
So it depends on the week. Each parent puts on an event either on Wednesday or Thursdays. Mostly on Thursdays, we either go to their house and have dinner, or they'll make reservations for us to go to a restaurant, just sit down and enjoy. Tonight we're going to Chicken and Pickle to play some games and eat dinner with our team. It definitely brings our team together, just seeing how we act outside of school and who we are to each other. It definitely builds us on the court, and it builds us during practice.
So Coach is not invited, right?
She's not. Her invitation got lost.
It got lost in the mail. It's probably where mine is.
Yeah.
It's in the same pile at the post office. So, Haley, what do you enjoy about team bonding?
Again, what McKinley was saying, just seeing each other and being with each other off of the court, being able to connect on a personal level, not just as teammates, because no matter what's happened on the court, what happened during practice or during a game, no matter what was said, what actions were taken, we're still able to be classmates, and we're still able to just connect and have that sisterhood.
So, Coach, are the 5 seniors, are any going to play next year?
Yes. So, Haley, I'll let you speak about where you're going to play.
So for me, I am verbally committed to Lubbock Christian University, and I plan to sign in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited about that.
So what was it about that school that attracted you?
I just love the community because I went to tour it at some point last year, and my admissions administrator, he was so welcoming, and he was really clear about everything, like my next steps, first of all. But then when I toured the campus, when students and teachers would walk by, they would just say hi to me and wave to me. They just had that friendly smile. And the coaches, like the volleyball program there is so amazing. The community and the culture is so great. And I'm glad that I get to be able to go to a school and contribute to a program where we all believe the same things, and I'm able to grow in my faith at that school.
Any other Boerne kids there?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I know there's a golfer, Hammond, the Hammond girl from Champion, that's there. I don't know if she's even still there. She may have graduated. So, McKinley, what are your plans for next year?
Next year, my top school right now is Texas State, and I plan to major in criminal justice.
Bobcat. Roland, our sound guy, he does some PA for Lady Bobcat Volleyball.
Awesome.
Haley, what are you going to major in? What do you want to study?
I want to go into like kinesiology and more specifically like occupational therapy. I want to go like on that path.
Is that why you're wearing like kind of a nurse's uniform?
Yes, sir, because I'm in my practicum for senior year, and I get to go off campus for basically my class and help out at sites.
So, Coach Lawrence, do you have any other seniors that are signing, or maybe some juniors where there's some interest, anything like that? Who else is looking at college?
Yeah, I know that our senior Paige has verbally committed to play at Hardin-Simmons as well. So
Paige to go?
Yes. So she will be playing there in the fall. And then I know that Kinsey Jones also has, a couple schools that she's bouncing in between right now. And so she's right now kind of in that recruiting process. And Holly, I believe, is going to Texas Tech in the fall. So she's going to focus on studies and enjoying being at one of those big D1 schools and experience all that has to offer. And I know we have a couple other juniors who are working on the recruiting process, but very excited for our seniors who get to go and play at the next level.
Yeah, you mentioned Paige in that champion match. I thought she had a big match. I don't remember what her kills total was, but it was double digits. She had a great game.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct in that it was double digits. Our middles did really, really well in that match in keeping us on our fast tempo offense as well as keeping Champions defense on their heels.
Yeah. So one thing, program needs that you have seniors, but you need the freshmen, the underclassmen coming in to feed the program. How is it looking? Freshmen, JV, 8th graders, you gone to watch them play?
Yeah, so actually get to watch some middle school volleyball this week. We're going to see North and Voss play, so that'll be very exciting. We had them recently at our middle school night to come and support us, so we're super excited to go out and support them. We have a lot of freshmen in our program right now. I think across the whole program we have 19 freshmen, which is half our whole roster. So very excited for the future of Boerne Volleyball. We actually have 2 freshmen who are playing right now on varsity due to some injuries and some move-ups and things that we had to do early on in the season. So Cameron Keller and Molly McCormick right now are 2 freshmen on varsity that are setting.
And what do you tell the players, 8th graders, freshmen, about club? Because Haley and McKinley, y'all played club ball over the years, travel ball, whatever it's called, AAU?
Yes, sir, we have.
Yeah.
Yes,
we play on the same club team.
Oh, okay. Any champion girls on the team?
Used to be.
Oh, okay. So y'all are friends, because there was some of the sports where Boerne High and Champion met where it didn't seem friendly. It was intense, but it was kind of personal. But, volleyball didn't seem that way. It seemed like y'all still like each other afterwards. Coach, what do you tell kids, 8th graders, freshmen? Because that just seems like if you're going to be part of it, that's the way you have to go now. It's just the way it is now, isn't it?
Yeah, we definitely encourage kids to touch a volleyball, learn how to play volleyball before they get to the high school, just because as the culture of club volleyball grows, especially in the Texas area, there's just more and more girls getting the opportunity to play early. I know that it's not in everybody's scope of, going to the top club or just doing what's locally in your area, but definitely encourage you to get out to clinics and to touch a volleyball as much as possible, just because there are other girls that are doing it too.
Yeah, and probably most do it as opposed to don't do it. I would think most are involved in club in a certain degree.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that the Boerne programs right now have down to, I think, as early as 3rd grade, you can start playing volleyball locally in town. Wow. So that's really exciting for us as a sport in this community. I feel like volleyball is just continuing to grow, and that's a testament to all of the little things that are popping up here and there, as well as the bigger clubs in San Antonio.
So I was just thinking about 2 schools in Boerne ISD, and Boerne ISD could be still one high school if they wanted to be a big 6A, but What would that team be like if you had the best players from each team playing on one team? That'd be an all-star team.
I mean, yeah, we got 2 really great programs in town, and so if you had that opportunity, it would definitely be a very different vibe and getting all the height in one spot, for sure.
That is Stacy Lawrence, head volleyball coach at Boerne High. Have you gotten involved in the club coaching scene yet, or not quite?
I have not yet. This is my second year having a second sport, so I was learning to navigate that last off season, and it's been nice to enjoy and then be able to travel if I want to see some of these girls play and really focus on developing our off-season program to make our girls better in the weight room and doing the refined skills as well.
Is that something you'd be interested in the future, is maybe trying to do some summer things like that and get to know some of the other girls around the area?
Yeah, definitely not opposed.
How many years have you played club, Haley?
I've played club. I believe I'm going on my 6th year.
Okay. How about you, McKinley?
Same. I did 5 years.
Oh, I think it's really amazing because, like, for club, like, we're with each other all the time. We have multiple practices a week, and then we have our 2, 3, sometimes even 4-day tournaments, and then we're traveling on cars and planes, and it just feels like we're basically spending our whole lives with each other, basically at that time, and we're able to just, like, really connect. And, like, yes, there are times where, because we're so close, we act like sisters, and, like, we'll get annoyed with each other, but we know deep down, like, we all love each other, and, like, we want the best for each other. So on the court, like, if we see people we know and we're playing against them, or if we are playing on the same team, like, we're able to just, like, build each other up and have such great energy. And I love club. It's amazing.
So, McKinley, as far as club, do you see a lot of girls from different schools, then you play against them, and now they're on their other side of the net? That's probably a little weird, isn't it?
It's definitely different seeing them, like, at an out-of-state tournament. Like, you're used to just seeing them, like, around town, and, like, you hang out with them in Boerne. But it's definitely fun watching them, like, play, like, at a huge tournament. And it's definitely different seeing the environment that they're in.
Well, Coach Lawrence, how much of what you want installed have you got installed? Is there still anything left that you still want to put into the program?
I mean, I think as a coach, you always see what you can continue to improve on, right? So I think I'm very proud of what we've been able to install and implement right now. I think there's always something just a little bit more, right? Whether that's a faster offense or a slightly different defensive system, or we need to do these drills more, or this is what our off season is going to look like. I think, like I said, I'm very proud of where we are and what we have installed so far, but I think there's always just a little bit more.
Well, and just some recognition, you guys won the SAISD tournament. I think it's 2 years in a row. So what does that mean to you as the head coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think it's great for our girls to experience the success and experience that growth that we've had. You know, we had a lot of girls on our roster contribute to that win in that tournament. And so to be able to not only win it last year, but to repeat it shows that it wasn't a one-off, right? That these girls have the talents and they have the skills to go out and win matches.
And then you get to district play, some really tough teams in your district. State ranked New Braunfels, I think, is top 10 in the state.
Yep.
You always have that champion match, and Smithson Valley is really good. So I know you probably don't have as many wins as you'd like, but I think you guys are competing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it is a tough district. There are 2 teams in our district that are ranked top 20 in the state. Piper, I think, is at 19, and New Braunfels is at 10, with some other really competitive teams in that mix too. And as a team and as a program, I'm really proud of us because even though we aren't winning matches, we are competing and taking sets. Or if we're losing sets, it's only by 2, 3, maybe 5 points. And last year, I can say that for all the losses that we had. It could have been likely 0-3, or we're losing by a large margin in certain sets. And so I think we're fighting and we're battling a whole lot more against these really good programs.
Yeah, and I thought a turning point last year was when you hosted New Braunfels. I think last match of the year, you guys beat them.
Yes.
And they were, I think, weren't they district champs, or they were up there?
Yeah, they were definitely in that top playoff ranking, and then they made a deep run in playoffs as well. So I think that was a good momentum builder for not only our whole program, but then our senior leaders coming in to like use that as fuel and use that as fire for the rest of our off season.
Yeah, and somehow, what I remember, you helped champion out somehow. I don't understand. I don't know. Like they finished 3rd instead of 4th or something like that, but it didn't matter in the end because you go big school, small school, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I thought that was a great match for you guys in that game, and it seems like since then you guys have been playing at a certain level. So let me ask you, Haley, last question. What's been the best part of playing volleyball at Boerne High?
Best part of Boerne High is definitely just the community, being able to be with my friends, honestly. The friends that I've made through Boerne Volleyball will be my friends definitely for a long time after I leave Boerne High School.
McKinley, what's been the best memory for you?
I totally agree with Haley. I think ever since my freshman year, I've built friendships up ever since I was a freshman, and I think that those friendships will last way past high school, and I believe that we'll still go and support each other, whether that's like going to games, going to dinner, just talking about life and our futures together. I think we'll always be there for each other.
Okay, well, I think that's going to pretty much do it for this edition of the Boerne Brew. Remember, Boerne High plays champion October 14th. Good luck in that one. And Coach Lawrence and McKinley and Haley, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you out there for listening to the Boerne Brew. We'll talk to you next time.